This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Hello you guys, welcome from Hawaii. Today we're going to be thrift hopping. So we have a chocolate tour today, but we still have like an hour or two, so we want to do a little bit of thrift hopping. We're right in front of a Goodwill. Oh, where are you? Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it over there. And then there's a Salvation Army that's not too far away, so let's go check it out. So Arthur and I are staying in Waikiki, but there really aren't any thrift stores out there. So Moira, thank you so much for the suggestion. We are in, I'm so bad at Hawaiian pronunciation, Kailua. So she recommended this Goodwill. It does look pretty small, but I mean, I feel like a lot of buildings compared to Los Angeles are fairly small. But let's see what Y2K stuff we could find. Voiceover Danielle here, and this place was fairly small, so I didn't want to like pull out my equipment and start recording just because I'm not sure how locals would feel about it, just because in Los Angeles I feel like they're used to like people vlogging, but decided just to keep silent while shopping. And so I came across these green bins literally as soon as you walk in, and this is all new items with tags, never been worn. Just really wasn't my vibe because they were more modern brands, but I did just want to quickly show off the pricing because it was pretty similar to Los Angeles, maybe cheaper by $1, but other than that, very close. So this was the first shirt that I came across. I liked it, but I wasn't loving it. I liked the floral print, how feminine it looked. And then this is a second one, kind of giving the same vibe, like middle-aged mom, but if you styled it, you could probably pull it off. I still put it into the cart anyway, just to give it a try. I also just wanted to quickly show off my new bag. I got it in Chinatown and I'm obsessed with it. And then I was deeply, deeply offended because Arthur came through with this shirt and was like, oh my God, look, this reminded me of you. And I was like, why? How? This is so ugly. I had no idea why he even brought this to me or whether it was a joke, but I was like, sorry, this is gonna be staying behind. Lingerie was surprisingly cheap, only $4.99 compared to Los Angeles. That is a freaking steal, but I didn't really find anything. They just had like midi slips, which I actually have a few right now because I'm gonna be using them for a DIY project, but didn't find anything that great in lingerie. I love the set pricing that they have just because in Los Angeles, thrift stores get away with overcharging, but I'm in the dress section. I came across Killstar. I've seen this brand on Instagram before, and I've always really been into it because of the alt style, but this quality, oh my gosh, it was so bad, so thin too. But then my luck turned up. I came across some Morbid Threads, this dress, absolutely no question about it, went straight into the cart. I came across this hibiscus print on camisoles and dresses, still brand new with tags, but I'm convinced that this print is worn more by tourists than actual locals, so I will admit, I gave in. I didn't buy a hibiscus print item here, but I did buy one from a local vendor in Chinatown. Cutting in real quick just to thank today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. If you've been looking to create a professional website for either like a blog or portfolio or to sell physical or digital services, Squarespace is perfect for you. That's how I have my website, Twinelle.com. This is where I sell all of my thrifted and vintage clothing, and they have everything from marketing tools and analytics to just help you understand your website more. But something that was just super important to me is that you don't have to be good with technology. You don't have to know how to code. So they just make it super simple to navigate and to create, but they also offer a handful of different tools to make it super easy. The first tool they offer is e-commerce templates. So they have a whole library full of different layouts to choose from. So for example, my website was designed to sell clothes, so I wanted to choose a layout that really showcased each listing. The second tool they offer is inventory management. So if you plan to use your website to sell a high volume or high quantity of items, this is what's going to keep you super organized, and so you get notified anytime one of your items is low on stock or completely out of stock. And even adding items to your website is super easy. All you're really doing is just inputting data. So you're just completing sections like the title, the description, the price, quantity, images. After that's all set, you just publish straight onto your site. And as you sell items, Squarespace will do its job to make sure that all the numbers are correct and your inventory is managed. A third tool is secure payment. So it's really easy to connect Stripe and PayPal so that anyone who's shopping on your site can either pay with their credit card, PayPal, or even Venmo. The last tool I want to touch on is a built-in mobile website. So not only is your website going to be shoppable and accessible through a desktop, but an iPad, a tablet, and even your phone. So if you want to check out Squarespace, visit squarespace.com month for a free trial. And then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Twinelle to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using my code Twinelle. Huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Let's get back to Hawaii. I didn't spend too much time in the pants section just because pants are really heavy and I didn't want to add so much weight to my suitcase, but I did come across these cargos that I really liked, especially because of the studded details. Was a little iffy on the color just because neutrals tend to make me look a little nude, but I took them into the fitting room anyway, which I was so surprised to see because in Los Angeles, fitting rooms at this point are so unheard of. They just don't exist anymore. But here's a quick little outfit of the day. It was super boring, very casual and comfy because we were doing a lot of commuting and walking. So Converse, a little tee, my bathing suit on underneath. And then, oh my gosh, this was the first shirt that I showed off. Doesn't it give mom? It's given kind of like a middle-aged woman. I'm sorry. It just isn't very cute. The pants were all right, but my hips are just really big that it was very tight in like the butt section, so it didn't look too flattering on me, so I decided to pass on them. But here we have rejects of the day. This first one I really liked because of the lettuce edge trimming, but overall, again, it's just another shirt that just looked pretty dated. This is the one that I had just tried on. I thought it was going to work for like a dark fairy look, but decided to pass on it. This shirt was the very, very first one that I ever came across. You could easily tell that it was Y2K and the vented sleeves were pretty, but again, decided just to pass. Not gonna lie, but I do feel like this first location was kind of a bust, but I did walk out with 2 items I really like. We walked out with 2 items. There's a sign inside that says that they're actually closing down. The last day is gonna be February 28th, so check it out. I'll leave the address down below.
Lately I've been tired, I ain't want your conversation. Lazy kinda burnout, need to fuel up at the station. Yeah, how you gon' pay for food? How you gon' pass the class? If this is all that you do, boy, you just sitting on your. I ain't afraid, this is my fate.
We just got done with our chocolate tour and we ate a crap ton of chocolate. I low-key feel like I'm gonna throw up. But Salvation Army was literally right across the street from it. Right off the bat, y'all, I'm gonna let you know that this Salvation Army was a freaking gold mine. So many thrifts in LA have been just overpicked and picked through that it's been a little uninspiring to like get up and go thrifting. This place, I was coming across cute piece after cute piece after cute piece. So we have a little bit of like bootleg Louis Vuitton right here. I really like the color combo, just the silhouette of this. It was kind of giving retro, like 60s, 70s. So I really wasn't vibing with it, but I could appreciate it. I came across this slip and immediately I thought, ooh, Betsy Johnson. Only it wasn't. So I was tempted to pick this up because it also fit me. It was a size small. So I did put it into the cart, but sadly I did leave her behind. I know not everyone is crazy about cargos, but I love them, and especially if it's this brand Esprit. It was just giving spring, especially with the color in the plaid print. And then right next to it, I came across this maxi skirt. I totally love this. It kind of reminds me of something that I found while I was shopping on GoodwillFinds.com. I ended up leaving it, but this one I took for sure. Came across some granny chic pieces. This one was one of my favorites, but it was pretty damaged, so I decided to leave it behind because I don't know how to fix that crochet hem. So I just knew it would unravel if I kept it in my wardrobe. And then of course, I'm a sucker with anything with some faux fur. I was really tempted to take this, but it was a size medium. I tried it on and it just fit a little too oversized. Plus, there was a lot of pilling. It was faded. That faux fur looks like it needs a good brushing, so decided to leave it. And then I came across some cute Doki Doki and some Sanrio. I was so excited to find this, but I just knew it wasn't very practical with my wardrobe since I really don't wear tight-fitted t-shirts like that. And as far as PJs, I kind of just take a shirt out of Arthur's closet. The amount of time I've spent here in the shoe section is not even funny. And you'd imagine by now I'd learned my lesson not to buy thrifted shoes because I've literally had them disintegrate after purchasing them. But at this Salvation Army, they had designer shoes for a really reasonable price. I was kind of tempted to take them with me. So the first ones were those Miu Miu pink ones, and they were a size 36. I'm a 38, a little too snug, but for only $40, that is like so good. But the ones that really caught my eye were these red boots. They were a size 37, so slowly and closely inching up to my size, but these were only $30. Oh my gosh, how I was so tempted. I was just telling myself I'd wear really thin socks just so that I can have a little bit more toe room, but decided just to leave them behind because ultimately they would just be really uncomfortable to walk in. But I have a new rule when it comes to thrifting shoes. I'm only ever going to drop money if the shoes look brand new, never worn, like super incredibly clean. And so that's what happened when I found these mint colored ones. They're the brand Moo Moo, and they were only $10. They were a size 30 freaking 8, and they were kind of giving me like Gucci, also Lolita vibes, so really vibing with them. Then I came across these sandals. I really like the embellished and denim detail, but I don't really wear open toe shoes just because I never get my toes done, so obviously I don't want to show off my crusty feet. Okay, I know I'm showing off a lot of shoes. I promise these are the last ones. I came across pink freaking go-go boots. They were a size 10, so I'm telling you, shoes were either too big or way too small for me. I later saw a woman pick them up and I just had to tell her, those are such a good pickup. They're so damn cute, but this is a damage that was done, so let's do some rejects of the day. The first one is this t-shirt, and you're probably wondering, Danielle, why? And in my defense, it is a little bit more fitted and it's smaller, but I actually have a long sleeve very similar to that, and I never wear it, so decided to leave it. I was really tempted to take this one too, but it is a 12 petite, so I would have to take it in on the sides and in the sleeves, but my rework pile is just way too big right now, so the shirt had to stay. For obvious reasons, I picked this up because it's red, it's got hearts, it's sexy. I love wearing lingerie as just everyday casual wear, but this one just fit a little too big, but for only $5.99, that's such a good price. And then this shirt here, I'm just gonna spoil it, but I actually took this home. First I didn't really like it because of the Western theme, but then I told myself I need more t-shirts in my wardrobe. We are back from Hawaii now. I am a lot tanner. My makeup doesn't even match my arms anymore. I feel like in person I'm a lot more caramel now. And do you guys notice anything different? I got my nose pierced, so it is the first step of my glow up of 2023. So expect a new hairstyle, maybe a new color. I do want to extend my hand tattoo and have it go all the way to my back, so changes are coming. But let's get started with this Hawaiian thrift haul. I did end up going to Salvation Army and Goodwill, and not gonna lie, but the pricing was pretty similar to here in Los Angeles. And something else that I was thinking about is that Hawaii is just island, so how do thrift stores get their inventory? Is it solely based off donations, or is Goodwill doing exactly what they do from the mainlands, where they send out or like ship out, fly out clothes every single week? Because the thrift stores that I went to still had really good inventory, and their designer is just priced a lot cheaper than here in the mainlands or like Los Angeles. So I mean, let's just get started with our haul. The first thing I want to show off are these shoes. I absolutely fell in love with them, and then I usually don't get really lucky with like brand new shoes. They're a size 38. They look like they've never been worn. They're in like perfect condition. And this kind of reminds me of something that Ashley from Best Dressed would wear to make it look like Gucci-esque. And this wouldn't be a Twinelle thrift haul if we did not have a thread regret. So I'm gonna show this to you now. Oh, and you let me know if you know what this is. Right now in the comments, let me know if you know what this is. So when I found it and read do not disturb, I was like, oh my gosh, it reminds me of that one brand. I don't know the name of it, but they literally sell mini skirts and it says mini skirt on it. So I was just like, okay, kind of the same vibe where it's pretty playful. And then literally after I bought it, and maybe it was like the day later, I was scrolling on Instagram and I should have screenshotted it, but it was a sponsored ad of those like beach lawn chairs with these over the chair so that people don't sit on them. So I was like, God, I'm such a fool. It's not even clothes. It's to like reserve your chair when you're out at the beach or at the pool. But do not worry, this will not be going to waste. I already have a DIY project for it, so at least it's gonna come through. Here is that shirt that I had mentioned in the rejects of the day segment. So I ended up just taking it with me just because I need more t-shirts in my wardrobe, and not baby tees like I'm wearing now, but something that's just a little bit more loose fitting. And I also have white cowboy boots that I don't wear very often, so I knew exactly how I wanted to style this. So even though I'm not really into the whole like cowboy western theme of it, it's got hearts and that sold me. Here is the next piece, and I got so happy when I saw this. So I know I'm wearing like all black right now, but I'm still really into this very like granny feminine aesthetic, and I actually have something similar to this right here. This is probably one of my favorite pieces in my wardrobe, and I've had it for years, like since I moved to Los Angeles, and it's kind of giving me the same vibe, only in this lilac color. So I can't wait for spring to come around already, because those are gonna get a lot of wear. So if you're a fan of Trip, lip service, you know exactly why I picked up this morbid the honking. But as I was saying, if you're really into an alt style, you know exactly why I picked this up. It's a brand Morbid Threads, made in USA, only it's a size extra small. I feel like still up until now, I'm still trying to like understand my new body because I did gain a lot of weight since the pandemic and I haven't done anything about it. So I no longer fit into extra small. I'm more of a like small medium now, especially because of my hips. So when I got home, this was one of the first items I tried on because I was so excited, and it was just so sad to see that it didn't even fit me. So expect to see this on my website. So I have a handful of items left and they're all skirts now. So let's talk about this one. Doesn't this look so damn cool? It has this like asymmetrical dip on the front and it's red plaid, which is my favorite. Also, kudos to the person who tagged this, whoever was in the back working on it. You're a real one. They tagged it as kids clothing for only $2.99, so that is a freaking steal for this. I absolutely love it. I feel like it's super cohesive with my wardrobe. And then all the yellow tags the day that I went were half off. So this black skirt right here was only $3.50. It's also Versace. I got so lucky, and I've been looking for just like a plain, simple black mini skirt for the longest time. The only thing is that my hips, y'all, this skirt is just so tight around my hips that walking is a little uncomfortable. I can't even imagine sitting down in this. I feel like I'll literally have a Hulk moment if I were to bend in this. But I'm gonna hold on to it just to see if I can stretch it out just a little bit with some wear, because I just need like 1 or 2 inches in the hip area. Plus, they're just such a must-have, especially when you wear bold statement tops. It's the perfect balance. Here we have another yellow tag. So this item was half off, and you're probably just thinking, okay, Danielle, it's just a black pleated skirt. Yes, it is, but we have this white contrast detail at the hem and just the construction of this. So let me give you this brand. If you've ever heard of this brand, let me know, but it's Kawaii.se. So like Kawaii se? I'm not too sure. But the construction and quality of this just feels so nice and durable. The thickness kind of reminds me, and the fabric, reminds me of like a men's suit. Just the quality of it feels so different compared to a lot of pleated skirts I come across at the thrift. So absolutely love this. Here is the last item, and it's this Faded Glory maxi skirt. Maxi skirts have been my thing. I've seen so much inspo, styling inspo on Pinterest, and so I was so happy when I found this, but I liked it so much that I actually wore it the day after I purchased it. I'm really thankful that it has a lot of texture to it. Like, it kind of looks crinkly because there are stains all over this, and not just like small stains, but pretty big bright orange stains. Here, let me find a few. Look, there's one on the waistband. Let me see if you guys can see that. Do you see that orange little stain? That's a pretty small one, but this skirt is filled with those, so I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I mean, other than that, it's in pretty good condition, no holes, no tears. But y'all, that pretty much does it for thrifting in Hawaii. So if you're locals, you probably already know these thrift stores, but if you're traveling into Hawaii and you want to do some thrifting, I'll leave the addresses of the places I went to down below in the description box. Also, a huge thank you to Moira. I know I already shouted her out, but Moira, I'm so appreciative of you reaching out and letting me know of these thrift locations, because there was literally nothing in Waikiki where I was staying, so really grateful for that. My next trip is gonna be Iceland, so I'm looking at my Iceland outfits right now, so expect that probably in a few days or maybe next week. But also a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. So if you want to check them out, visit squarespace.com for a free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Twinelle to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using my code Twinelle. But as always, y'all, I do post videos at least once a week. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!